Students, today we are going to learn about simple past tense. So before we move ahead, let's first understand the concept. Actions which take place in the past are said to be in the simple past tense. Here are some of the features of simple past tense. First, simple past tense talk about the actions which have already happened in the past, and it is completely unrelated to the present time or moment, and it always uses V2 form of the verb. As you know, children, there are two types of verbs, regular verbs and irregular verbs. So sometimes children get confused while changing the form of verb to the past tense. So here we will clearly understand how the verbs get changed in the past tense with the regular verbs and also with the irregular verbs. And also we will know the structure or the format of the simple past tense. Let's see how regular verbs change in their past form. Usually, regular verbs add d, ed or ied to the base form while framing the past form of the verb. Now, let's see verb with d. Some regular verbs ending with an e add d to the main verb while changing into past form. For example, love becomes loved. I love to play basketball. Close becomes closed. You close the door. Now let's see verb with ed. Some regular verbs add ed to the base form while forming their past form. Work becomes worked. I walked to school. Watch becomes watched. We watched the movie yesterday. Now let's see verb with IED. Some regular verbs ending with a Y add IED to the base form while changing their past form. For example, spy becomes spied. He spied on his neighbors. Try becomes tried. I tried my best. Now let's see how irregular verbs change in their past form. Generally, irregular verbs have unique past simple form. For example, build becomes built. I built that house last year. Write becomes wrote. She wrote a letter to her grandmother. Buy becomes bought. For example, cut. I cut my finger yesterday. Shut will remain the same, shut. He shut the door. Now, let's know the pattern or structure of simple past tense for positive sentence, negative sentence and for interrogative sentence. Subject plus V2 form of the verb is the pattern for positive sentence. Let's have a look to these examples. I saw Raj. He wrote a letter. The pigeons flew. So here the V2 form of the verb see is saw, for write is wrote and for fly is flew. Now the format for negative sentence is subject plus did not plus B1 form of the verb. Here we need to remember the moment we use the auxiliary verb did in the sentence, the other verbs in the sentence should be in the V1 form or in the base form. Let's take the same example to understand it in a better way. I did not, or the contraction of did not is didn't. I didn't see Raj. He didn't write a letter. The pigeons didn't fly. Now let's have a look to the pattern of interrogative sentence. Here the sequence of the words go change. So first we use did or didn't, then the subject, then V1 form of the verb with the question mark. Let's see few examples. Did I see Raj? Didn't he write a letter? Didn't the pigeons fly? let's have a quick recap of what we have learned today. First, we use the simple past tense to talk about the action which have already done or finished. Second, it has no relation with the present time or moment. Third, it uses V2 form of the verb. Fourth, regular verbs always follow the format. Fifth, irregular verbs change their spelling or they go completely change.